Hey, 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 happy days. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Could you take someone under your wing? Should you take someone under your wing? Have you ever taken someone under your wing? Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, also known as Pajama Grandma, with What's She Up To Now? Day 768. 768 days talked about and kind of journaling and created a diary of what I'm doing as I transition from the brick and mortar world of business and corporate America to the online world. And actually, not just transferring, I'm transitioning to that, but how do you marry the two? And how can I help people that have traditional businesses to add an online component to supersize and grow their business? That's really where my heart's at these days. But that involves taking people under your wing. I help and coach and answer questions to help people to create the business that they want. That's an example of taking someone under your wing. Mentorship programs, being a leader in any organization, being a coach, being a consultant, being a guide, showing people, modeling, demonstrating, giving value. Those are all examples of how you can take people under your wing. And what feels better than helping somebody to figure something out? I gotta tell you, some of my most frustrating times in my life have been when I've been struggling to get just something simple figured out, and then asking somebody and they say, oh, just do this, and you're like, all right, well, I spent 2 weeks trying to figure that out and I only had to type in 3 letters and the problem was solved, or I only had to hit 3 keys on my keyboard and that took care of everything. Right? So taking someone under your wing. This is, of course, the topic of Supersize Your Business today, and I didn't realize that this idiom goes all the way back to the Bible. Gilbert and Sullivan in 1885 made it even more popular when they used it in their musical The Mikado, which I'm not familiar with. I'd be lying if I said I knew what The Mikado was. And it's an expression, and it's something that I have personally experienced throughout my lifetime, right? If you've got parents, if you have great parents like I had, my dad passed away 5 years ago, and my mom is still with us, and it's awesome. They take you under their wing. They create a life for you, and they help you navigate the waters of growing up, right, and childhood in ways that were better than they personally experienced. My parents were an incredible example of that. I'm trying to play with my ring light because it drives me crazy when it doesn't work. Not that I look much better with light on, let's be honest. I can face up to that. I can own up to that. It just doesn't matter, right? I do need a new ring light. I'm gonna have to bite the bullet and hop on Amazon today and get a new ring light. And it's only because of my connector, the connections, which isn't that true. Often what's wrong in our lives is just a connection thing, right? A communication thing. And mine, the connector that goes into the ring light has somehow gotten loose and it doesn't work. And so half the time it doesn't work, half the time it does. And it's getting to be more than half the time, so it's time to just say, instead of being frustrated, I was taping it up because the engineer in me says, you can fix this, you can do it. But I'm to the point where, like, why am I bothering? You know, ring lights aren't that expensive. I can just get a new ring light. And they're super duper handy. There's a couple of things technologically that make life really, really easy. But of course, lots of us like to overcomplicate everything. And so instead of making life easy, we try to make it complicated, but it doesn't really have to be that complicated. And actually doing video and live video is one of those things. It can be super duper simple, or it can be super duper complex and complicated. I say keep it simple because then I can do it. If it's too complicated, I can't do it. I would need somebody to take me under their wing to teach me and show me how to do really good video. And guess what? It's not in my wheelhouse. It's not something that I even want to learn how to do. So curious today, have you ever taken somebody under your wing? If you're a parent, you automatically have. If you've ever been involved in a mentorship program, or been a guide or a counselor or a leader in any way, shape, or form, you've taken somebody under your wing. A leader automatically has to mentor and teach and guide and coach the people that report to them, right? I actually, one of my best and most fun memories of being a mentor or taking somebody under my wing was the Big Brothers Big Sisters organization. I was part of that organization for like 5 years, my first job out of college. And then of course I moved to another company, another city with another job, got married, had kids, and then I became, you know, the guide and mentor and took my kids under my wing, because it's kind of the natural progression of things for a lot of us. But one of my most fun things was being a big sister. I loved being a big sister. I had a wonderful little girl who was the oldest of 4 when I first met her, and then her mom had twins, so she was the oldest of 6, and definitely needed a different perspective to see and learn and have just fun for herself and a different set of experiences so that she could know that other things were possible than what she grew up in. I love the Big Brothers Big Sisters program. I think it's wonderful. Now, hopefully they haven't had any scandals like Boy Scouts and a lot of others like the Catholic Church or anything else, but not that I'm aware of, but I haven't been involved in that organization since I had my kids. Since my son just turned 29, that has been a long, long time. So, taking somebody under your wing. Have you done it? Do you do it? Should you do it? Could you do it? One of the fastest, easiest ways to learn and grow personally is by teaching other people something that we know or a skill that we've acquired. People have this natural resistance to giving, and I don't know why, but to giving things that they do for a living away. One of my coaches and mentors, Russell Brunson, taught us early on, and because he did this to get his business started online, he worked for free. He did a couple of huge projects for organizations and for business people for free. Why? Well, because he wanted to. He wanted to prove his concept, and he wanted to get a good story, a good case study, a good person that he had helped. And so he actually worked with, and I'm going to forget now because my mind does that sometimes, but he worked with the Greens people. Come on, help me out. Organifi. He worked with the people at Organifi to launch that product, and he went and he provided his training and coaching and services for free. He mentored them, he guided them, he took them under his wing to teach them what he knew. Now, he did it so that he could prove his concept, right? But it's the same thing. But people have this huge resistance to doing that to get their business started or to get something different started. A lot of times when we change directions in our lives and our careers, we are nervous and we need our confidence built up, and the best and fastest and easiest way to do that is to do what you do for somebody for free. Take them under your wing, teach them everything you know. Guess what? You're always going to know more. Teach them, share that with them, show them. Number one, they'll get an incredible result, and then that will in turn help you to help other people and get the results that you want. So I actually really love this concept, love this expression. Have been on both sides of it. I've been mentored by some of the most incredible people on the planet, and have in turn turned around and then been a mentor for a lot of different organizations. Every company I ever worked for, we had some sort of, or I would adopt a person that was new and help them get started, especially people in other departments, because it's expected to do the people and help the people in your own organization. But I always like to pick somebody new and help them if they wanted it in another area. Number one, it helped me to learn more about that area, but it also helped that person to learn more about my area of the company and of the business, and made for better, quicker assimilation into the organization. So could you do that? Could you, if you haven't, if you're struggling in any area of your business, if you're struggling to test or launch a new product or something, could you find someone that you could mentor, take under your wing, and offer your product and services for free? It's a good question. It's a great question to think about. And then if you're saying no, then I can't possibly do that, and it's time to kind of get introspective and ask yourself, well, why am I resisting that idea? And then a lot of weird, interesting false beliefs and feelings come up, because you'll say, well, things like, well, I can't do this for free because I need money. I can't do this for free because people should pay me for this. I can't do this for free because, and a whole slew of reasons. And whatever comes up, write it down, look at it, and then ask yourself, take each item that you put on your list, and I mean make an exhaustive list, one by one, and ask yourself, well, is this really true? Can I not do this? Now, I'm going to tell you, anything that says can't is absolutely not true, because there's no such thing as can't. You can say, I don't want to give my services away for free. People should pay me. I feel like I'm valuable and I should be paid for this, and I should be paid for every bit of information that I share with anybody else in the world, because a lot of people feel that way. And ask yourself about each of those items, is this true? Is this really true? What else is possible? What else could be possible? Because I'm obviously on a path of facing a lot of false beliefs and a lot of change right now. Sold my house yesterday, and that was the last asset that I had with my ex-husband. And so it's now my time to give up all of my false beliefs and all of my thoughts and feelings and beating myself up over being divorced, right? it's been like 10 years, so maybe it's time, right? But it took that long. We got divorced in 2015, and it's taken 5 years actually, because we had a very convoluted set of assets together, and so it's taken that long to actually finally take care of and get rid of everything, right? Get rid of everything. And we closed on that last asset yesterday. So now I have got a whole slew of false beliefs and things that I just need to let go of, and I've got a lot of different strategies for doing that. I actually did some courses and some coaching on letting go strategies, and I did some fun things with letting go of false beliefs. If you're interested in that, ask in the comments below. Just ask, say, Sharon, letting go strategies. Just type, letting go strategies, or I want them, or something in the comments below, and I'll know that to get those to you. I think I've done it several times, but I made some videos, some just fun videos of ways to let things go, because sometimes we need to have fun with getting over stuff that's been important to us for a long, long time. I have deep-seated beliefs about marriage and divorce and relationships that aren't serving me anymore. And sometimes we need to stop, take a deep breath, and say, all right, well, that belief, that beating myself up over, that's not really serving me. What can I replace this with? So working on that today. Also, day 17 of our Countdown to Live Challenge workshop, and I just got a new challenge with respect to the Live Challenge workshop yesterday. I've been putting the little pieces together and all the pieces together to make it a little more professional and fun, because I tend to just wing it on things, and sometimes I want to make things a little more formal and fun for other people so that they have a better experience, and this is no exception. But I found out that my amazing granddaughter has spring break the week of March 23rd, and her mother actually suggested and offered the opportunity for my son and I to take her to my mom's in Texas, where she could meet her Texas cousins and we could have a great experience. Guess what though? Her spring break is the same week as my live challenge workshop. So I'll figure it out. I mean, whether I go to Texas or not is still in question with her. It'll depend. It's totally changed my March travel plans, but that's okay too. Will we go? I don't know. If we go, will I figure it out? Yep, I'll totally, absolutely figure out. And I will still be live, noon Eastern, every day, Monday through Friday, and Saturday and Sunday, even if we're on the road driving home, I'll figure out my way to go live with you. And because I've made a commitment to myself that I'm doing the live challenge workshop that week. So even if I decide that I need to travel and go have a fun adventure with my granddaughter and my son, which is a really cool opportunity, right? I mean, what's the chance that I'll ever get to go on a trip with them again? Probably slim to none. So I want to take advantage of that if it is a possibility. My mom, of course, is saying, yes, yes, come, 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 because I have a big birthday coming up next week, the big 6-0. Not that I celebrate my birthdays much, but it's, my family gets crazy about birthdays, and I really don't care about them. I appreciate and I'm grateful for every day that I'm here, especially after my sudden cardiac arrest, but I don't really celebrate my birthday. I never really have made a big deal about it. So that would be fun to go and take my granddaughter and my son to Texas. That would be a good adventure. But I will still be here. So is that a challenge to figure out how to do a live workshop while you're traveling? Absolutely. Is it possible? Heck yeah, it's absolutely possible. Excuse me. I was doing a 90-day challenge, a 90-day blood pressure challenge last year when I traveled for about 2 months in the fall. It was really funny. I committed to doing the 90-day blood pressure challenge just for me and for my health before I guess I kind of vaguely knew I was going and traveling, but I didn't know how long or how extensively, and I ended up adding, 3 weeks onto one trip. So it ended up being a long time. But I was able to get on and do the live challenge throughout that whole traveling period. The hardest part was on the cruise ship. I went on a 7-day cruise, and so the hardest part was making that happen while I was on the cruise. But I got it done. We can always get things done. Anything is possible if we just set our mind to it, commit to it, and say, you know what, I'm going to figure this out. No matter what, I know that there's a way to make this happen, and I'll figure it out. So Lifetime Challenge Day 17 is, I'm going to give you the secret. It's about asking. Asking for help, asking questions, asking. I learned, and everybody always says, oh, just ask. But how reluctant are some of us to ask? a friend of mine in the Jim Edwards group who passed away after a cruise in 2010. He passed away the next April of lung cancer. He taught me, his name was Kevin, and he taught me and several other people, you just have to ask. If you want something, if you want to achieve something, if you want to speed up your process, ask a question, ask a better question. And the truth is, we're always asking questions all the time, right? Everything our mind is doing, our subconscious is doing, is always asking questions. It's always asking, what does this mean to me? And, you know, do I need to be afraid of it? Do I need to run? Whatever. But we're always evaluating everything, and evaluating things is through the form of questions. So we'll talk about questions today on the live challenge workshop countdown, doing the 20 biggest lessons that I've learned in my 47 years of corporate America and businesses. I had my first business when I was 13, and it was selling ice, actually manufacturing and selling ice. And so I've had lots of experiences, good and bad, in business, and I've learned some big lessons. And so I thought I would do a countdown to 20, the 20 days leading up to the live challenge workshop. And so today is day 17. That's it. That's all I've got today. I've got a gazillion things to do today. My amazing little granddaughter, her mom has off work and she has off school today. So I am granddaughter free for the next 3 days, which means I can plan how I'm going to do the live challenge workshop while traveling. All right. If I can help you in any way, ask in the comments below. Otherwise, I will be with you tomorrow.